Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're just going to be looking at the cost of 400,000 tokens and what those rewards look like. And at what point do you get your value back to cover the cost of getting in? That's also a pretty cool thing that we have at Control Token is when you buy a Control Token, you're buying into guaranteed value. So as we grow as a project, everybody who's entering has a share of permanent value in the future that they'll always have the ability to get through staking. And so that's just a really cool thing to have, is we're storing up stablecoin value in the future that appreciates. So the cost of around 400,000 tokens right now is around $1,000. It's a little less than $1,000. That'll get you $400,000. There is a total of about a 434 million tokens staked. We have about half our supply staked. That's people committing themselves into a position where they are in a staking pool. And if they try to unstake early, they'd be paying a 30% unstaking fee. They'd be paying a 20% sell fee. I'm in the 12-month staking pool. Over 100 million tokens are in the 12-month staking pool. That's the kind of community that you're coming into a Control Token, as one that's heavily dedicated to the future of the project. And it's because of this system that we have of preserving value in the future. And so at the cost of around $1,000, this is assuming 70% buy volume, 30% sell volume, and this is with 500 million total staked. The only other factor that could really affect this is something called arbitrage, or Mark's creation is called Arby. And this has two liquidity pools. I've told you guys about this. I'm about to add it into the white paper because I just forgot to add it. And one liquidity pool has BNB and Control Token. The other liquidity pool has XUSD. And so XUSD is what we're being rewarded in, and that value appreciates. And it's a new version of it, so it might grow a lot. It might appreciate these values a lot. If it ever went to from $1 to $2, it would double whatever these rewards are. I don't know if it's going to do that, but the possibility is there. Anyways, people typically arbitrage these different prices and they'll balance it out. If it's $1.10 and this one's $1, then they'll buy and sell until they're both $1.05, and now they're balanced. And people can make a profit off of balancing that. That's what arbitrage is. Well, Mark has something called Arby that he's created. It's arbitrage as a service, and it basically will arbitrage your own liquidity pool for you, and it can do that by doing it before anybody else because it removes the tax. So while arbitrage is, while it's arbitraging these two, it's producing a profit, and that profit is going to go towards the monthly rewards. Whatever the monthly rewards are, the profit from arbitrage as a service is going to be fueling those. Pretty awesome to have that, because typically that's just kind of open for anybody to do, but naturally we're going to do that ourselves, and we're going to use it to fuel the rewards for the monthly. This volume right here will not be contributing to the rewards. It's exempt from the rewards. But this volume should always be very insignificant compared to the movement of the charts. Most of the volume, like, I don't know, I would guess over 90% of volume or more would be taxed, buy tax, sell tax, and just a very small percentage is going to be going towards balancing these pools, producing a profit, and then going towards those monthly rewards, which is pretty awesome. That's the only thing that can affect this. But when you're looking at these numbers fluctuate based on the amount of tokens staked, the ratio between buy volume to sell volume, because more sell volume fuels the rewards more. And those are factors that can change. Right now we have about 434 million token stakes. So this is assuming another 64 million tokens staked. But that number could go to 600 million, and it would decrease these rewards somewhat. And so I'll probably show you guys how to do this in another video. But for today, we're just going to look at the rewards for, if you were to get about $1,000 worth of Control Token right now, that would get you about 400,000 tokens. And this volume is at any point. It's not just when you get in, but it's before you get in as well. This is if you're staking in the 12-month pools. You get all the monthly rewards. You get the 6-month. You get the 12-month. And you get the whales. Oh, sorry, not the whale, because you have to have 1.2 million tokens to get into the whale pool. So this will be a little bit less, but not much. for every $1 million in volume, you'll be getting $145 in stablecoin for everybody who holds the 400,000 tokens. That's the really cool part about this project is we're storing up preserved value for everybody, and everybody has the ability to stake their tokens to get that value. Now, you don't have to stake your tokens, and if you don't get those stake your tokens, you're forfeiting that value to everybody else. It creates this really cool situation where everybody not staking is forfeiting their value to everybody who is staking. Everybody leaving the project is forfeiting their value to everybody who's staying. Everybody leaving the project is paying a tax, a heavy tax, 18% into everybody that's staying. Everybody that's leaving the staking pool is paying 30% into those rewards and then paying another 20% on top of it, with 18% of that going towards rewards, because 2% of buys and sells go to the treasury. And so what we have right now, when you say, where are we going to get this volume from? And I've talked about this heavily if you're kind of new to the project, is there's two keys that I see to success when it comes to a crypto project. And one is momentum. And we are trying to do that naturally. The other one is I would kind of divide it into two categories, is bullish. You have to have a positive bullish expectation of the future. That's what allows people to sit on 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, 500 grand, millions of dollars, because they expect it to keep going up. And so you have to have a bullish expectation of the future, but also the other counterpart to that is, or what that does is it alleviates sell pressure. And so because we have such a massive amount of the supply, almost a half of the supply is in the staking pools, where they're very unlikely to leave, and if they do leave, they have to pay some heavy fees. We greatly alleviate that sell pressure, and we create a confidence, a bullishness in the future of the project, because we all know that most of everybody else is in the staking pools. That allows me to feel confident because I know all you guys are in the staking pool, which is a great community to join and be part of, knowing these things. Now we just need to get that momentum, and we have a lot of things planned to do so. We have daily content, we're doing giveaways, we're doing shares, we're sharing stuff, but we basically have a community that's committed to the future growth of the project, the long-term growth of the project. That's an amazing thing to have, and even a lot of our biggest players, our biggest holders, are committed to the 12-month pool, are committed to the long-term growth of the project. That's an amazing thing to have. Once we get that momentum, what is that going to look like when you get momentum and you have people that are alleviating sell pressure and bullish about the future? If we chase these rewards, we create a project that's likely to do very well. And that's what we've created. And so, yeah, these numbers at a very small amounts, we've hit about a little over 200, almost 300,000 in volume. There's rewards for this 400,000 tokens with 500 million tokens staked. Right now, you're buying into like 70 something dollars in rewards. It should be around $70 in rewards. It might be a little bit less because at the launch, we held back 10% of the LP in order to do buys, in order to counter the sell-offs. And then we're using those tokens. Those are going to be creating new reward events, which I'll be announcing soon, which are going to be really cool. It's all going back to you guys. So yeah, the numbers aren't extremely exciting, but this is a $1,000 investment. So between 5 million and 10 million in volume, you'll be seeing that you'll have $1,000. If we hit 5 and 10 million, it's like 7 million in volume. You'll be hitting guaranteed rewards with all the 12 months staked of $1,000, meaning at that point, it's your smooth sailing from there in terms of it not being a loss. And so just know that everybody, at a certain point in volume, you hit a point where you don't have a loss with guaranteed rewards in the future. And it's for everybody that holds these amount of tokens. If people sell, they can't devalue this because this is stable coin. When they sell, they increase it because sells have a tax that go towards increasing it. When people sell their rewards, it increases everybody else's rewards because it's a stable, appreciating stable coin. It's not a way to take away from this value. Everything done to it only adds to it. It's super important that people understand that. This is for everybody who has 400,000 tokens. And so the numbers start to get fun when if we can get that momentum that we're trying to do as a community, and we get to these 20 million, 50 million. At a certain point, you have guaranteed $3,000. If the token stake stays around 500 million, the buy pressure is 70%, sell pressure is 30, and we hit around 20 million in volume, everybody who has that 400 million in tokens will have around 3 grand built up into the rewards over the monthly, 6-month, and 12-month. And that value cannot go down. And so if a sell-off does happen, you go, oh crap, I missed my sell-off, but I've got my 3 grand. That's kind of the idea, is if sell-offs happen, we kind of need them to at some point to fuel these rewards and provide cheaper entry points. Sell-offs are kind of a good thing in this project. Then people can always be like, okay, cool, they just fueled my rewards, and I have this kind of guaranteed protection against a typical crypto project Ponzi scheme. And, you know, with this kind of amount, with 400,000 tokens, yes, if we ever hit 100 million in volume, that'd be 15,000, around 14 to $15,000 that could not go down in value until it gets distributed. So that if your bag gets sold off, you go, okay, over the next 12 months, I'm going to gain about 14 to 15 grand in stablecoin appreciating rewards. And if that stablecoin doubles from $1 to $2, it'll double those rewards. And then what we're really aiming for as a community, we want to see 500 million to $1 billion in volume. That's like what we're really aiming for. 100 million would be success. Right now, we're aiming for the first million. Then it'll be the 2. And then we'll be aiming for like the 5 and the 10. Ultimately, we really want to hit 100. But after that, like the numbers for like ultimate success, what we're really aiming for is the 500 to $1 billion in volume. And that's where, even if you had 400,000 and you have a whole community of people that are staked that are aiming to hit these numbers, we're all aiming over a period of a year during what should be the next bull run to hit these numbers. And we have a community that's in the staking pool and dedicating themselves to the growth of this project, aiming to hit these kind of volumes. It could be even more, who knows, but this is what we're aiming for along the way. Maybe it'll far surpass what we think is possible. Maybe it won't. Maybe we don't get volume. That's the risk of anything, is maybe it does something, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, even for around $1,000, you get around that 400,000 tokens. At 100 million in volume, you'd be getting that around 14 to 15 grand. At 500 million in volume, you'd be having $72,500 in appreciating stablecoin that cannot go down. If the token gets sold, it only goes up. If XUSD, the stablecoin, gets sold, that value goes up. Selling the token increases the amount of the rewards, and selling the rewards increases the amount of increases the value of everybody else's rewards. So that's an amazing structure that we have in place. If we ever hit that magic number, that billion in volume that everybody wants to see, everybody who has 400,000 tokens, assuming 500 million staked, will be getting around $145,000. That's for every single person. It's not only certain people who sell at the right times. It's for everybody who has that amount of tokens. Now, that's absolutely bullish success that we're aiming for, but I think we have the right community to increase our chances of making something like that happen. And so if the price goes down, the entry point into these rewards becomes a lot greater. If the price goes up, the entry point becomes less, but the price is going up. That's a good thing. You know, the price going up being a problem is a good problem to have. So yeah, I just wanted to go over these numbers for you guys, just so you guys can know the type of community you're getting in that already has almost half the supply staked, that even for around 400,000 tokens, for around $1,000, or if you wanted to divide all these numbers by 2, do $500, you get 200,000 tokens, divide all these numbers by 2, then you'll be understanding what those numbers would be. You know, at first, they're not great, but this is guaranteed value plus the ability to sell your bag. And that's another thing I didn't really say, is I'm not just talking about rewards. After you commit to the 12 months that you get your rewards, which we just launched 2 days ago, after you get your rewards, you can sell your bag without an unstaking fee. So say that we hit $1 billion in volume, and I know that's absolutely bullish, like may not happen, but if we hit $1 billion in volume, you got your $45,000 around there. It'll fluctuate based on other factors, and then you sold your bag, whatever that could be worth. Could be tens of thousands or whatever. The point is we have guaranteed value that builds up for people who usually get nothing. Usually only the sellers win. In this project, the contract sells for you. It preserves it in a stablecoin so that it doesn't move in value. It only moves up because it's an appreciating stablecoin, and it stores it up in the future so that everyone leaving the project is fueling those rewards. And we're created a situation where we're preserving and constantly shifting value to the future of the project that helps keep the project alive, and it helps grow the project. So we have a really amazing structure. Only thing we need is that momentum. Once we get that momentum, we have a community that is less likely to stunt that momentum momentum. There still is going to be sell-offs at different points, but it's most of the community and a lot of the big players are dedicated to the staking pools and even the 12-month pool. Anyways, if you guys want to join the Control community, we have a lot of videos on it. Just go to controltoken.net and you can look at all this information for yourself. You can buy on the website with the 4% fee, or you can just use the contract address, which I'll put in the comments below. You guys have a great day.